vehicle. You're blocking somebody in. As the green flag comes out on the racetrack, X9 of Brad Whitney's going to lead them down the back straightaway. We got a gaggle of them in tow. Alvin Christopherson runs in that second spot as he is going to dive it into turn number 3, coming off turn number 4. But the X9 of Whitney, he has got that car out front. As they go down the front straightaway through turn number 1, off of turn number 2. Looks like Christopherson's going to use that low line, unable to make it work. 997 Estes looks like he was off the pace. He is back up to speed now as the green stays out on the racetrack. Again, problems for the 997 Estes. Don't know whether that car is jumping out of gear or what the problem is, but he is definitely not up to speed. But who is up to speed is that car number X9 of Brad Whitney, as he has got it out front and pulling away. Not pulling away by much as Alvin Christopherson at 22X is right on the back deck lid as we head into turn number 1. Coming off turn number 2, Whitney still out front. As we go through turn number 3, off of turn number 4, still leading the way is that X9 of Brad Whitney.
It's the X9 of Brad Whitney with the lead right there within striking distance in the second place. Runner-up position is the 22X of Alvy Christopherson. 83A Aaron Booth Sauter. 65X of Thomas Roberts running fourth with the 12X Matthew Lightning Lance rounding out your top 5. A battle shaping up for the lead. The X9 of Whitney has it. 22A Alvy Christopherson wants it into turns number 1 and 2.
Christopherson trying to work that low line, unable to make that work as he will hang on to the second spot. But Whitney hanging on that lead as he has got it working down the back straightaway.
Whitney with the lead down the front straightaway. Alvy Christopherson in the number 2 spot. 83A Aaron Boussauter running right there in third. Right behind him, running in that 4th place, 65X of Thomas Roberts. 12X Matthew Lightning Lance right there in the number 5 spot. Then you got a battle for 6 between the 94J, Man of Steel, Josh Steele, and the 6X of Greg Kewen. Behind him, it's the 23, the Maysville Mauler, Mick Ross, and the 20XX of Smooth, Chad Clancy. Everybody still chasing that X9 of Brad Whitney.
G23 car looking good with Mick Ross behind the wheel. As around goes Kewen right in front of Ross, and Ross loops it to keep from getting into him. Also the 55 of Teal. 6X loops it. G23 and the 55T loop it just to take evasive action, so we'll see how all that shapes out. Race fans, as the green flag comes down the racetrack, X9 of Whitney gets a good start as he is going to pull away 2, 3 car links down the back straightaway. The man I'm watching is that 65X of Thomas Roberts as he's looking on the inside of Sauter. As he now gets that car really cranked sideways, he will hang on to it as Sauter will hang on to that 3rd spot as Roberts now in 4th. 12X of Matthew Lance, good showing here tonight, and the 20X of Chad Clancy runs in that top 6.
Everybody still chasing car number X9 of Whitney as we got a battle. 6X, Greg Kewen off the track. It's Whitney, Christopherson. The 83A of Aaron Boussauter was side-by-side racing with the 12X, Matthew Lighting Lance, 65X of Thomas Roberts. Might as well throw the 20XX of Chad Clancy in the mix, too. Clancy with a good run down the back straightaway. As it's the X9 of Whitney, the 22 of Christopherson, 1 and 2.
Contact between the 20XX of Clancy and the 65 of Roberts. Has Roberts really a big jump down there in turn number 1 and 2 as he gets back on the throttle. Here comes Clancy again right on the back deck lid. Great battle for that 5th spot as we come down the front straightaway.
It's still X9 Brad Whitney with the lead going into turns number 1 and 2. The 22A Alvy Christopherson down to the inside. Whitney with a good run out of 2 down the back straightaway. Whitney Christopherson spreading out a little bit as Thomas Roberts gets a good run down the back straightaway, taking over the number 3 spot, leaving the 83A of Aaron Boussauter back to the number 4 spot. Both of them good runs off of number 4. Everybody still chasing that X9 of Brad Whitney.
Good run by the 65X of Thomas Roberts, and here comes Chad Clancy as he will move into that 4th spot, get by the 83A of Boussauter as Sauter begins to slow down. A lot of sparks coming out from under the 65X, but he hangs on to that 3rd spot. Great race in action, a battle for the lead as the white flag comes out as Sauter up into the wall and around down here. Yellow out on the racetrack, caution on the racetrack as Boussauter setting the wrong way on a one-way.
94J was sitting on the edge of the track the whole time. Oh, what? Good start by the X9 of Whitney. As he goes into turns number 1 and 2, it's Whitney with the lead. 22 of Christofferson right there in second. 65X of Thomas Roberts up to third. 20 double X of Chad Clancy in fourth. And the 20J Jaden Bears rounding out your top 5. Everybody chasing Whitney as he takes that hard left-hand turn off of turn number 4, getting the white flag one more time around into turns number 1 and 2. It's Whitney, Christofferson, Roberts, Clancy, and Mick Ross. And something breaks on the 22 of Alvy Christofferson as the checkered flag flies. It's going to be the X9 of Brad Whitney.
As Thomas Roberts go off track over the bank, taking evasive action on that 22. We're going to go over and check on the 65X as he did go over the bank, race fans. I think it stayed on all 4 wheels, but we are going to go check that out. And here he comes back up onto the racetrack, the 65X of Thomas Roberts. Looks like he is okay, race fans, as he brings it back up onto the speedway. Your leader is
Green off of 4. Green is go. Good start by the 17T is Shadron Turner. 17J Jake Richards right there up on that high side. 7 of Doug Keller. As the good run down the back straightaway by the 17J Jake Richards to the lead into turns number 3 and 4.
As Jake Richards going to lead him. Here comes the other 17T is Shadron Turner as he is going to be in that second place. Man on the move. How about that 18? He is moving to the front. 18 is Kurt Drake as he will now try to take over that second spot from Doug Keller.
Doug Keller up to the number 2 spot as he gets by the 17T is Shadron Turner. So it's the 17J Jake Richards in the 17. As we're yellow out there on the racing surface. Yellow flag out there on the racing surface.
Debris in turn number 4, race fans. You see it laying down here in turn 4. Debris, sheet metal off of a race car as we got one car turned around. The 4D of Jeremiah Asher has got that car turned around.
Right in the middle. It's a good start by the first half of the field. It's the 17J Jake Richards on the middle of the track, but here comes car number 7 of Doug Keller down to the inside of the 17J of Jake Richards, side by side racing into turns number 3 and 4. Richards on the high side, Keller on the low side, and don't count out that car number 17T of Shadron Turner as he's running third.
As they go through turn number 1, coming off turn number 2, we have got a battle between Jake Richards and the 17J and the 7 of Doug Keller. Heading through turn number 3, coming off turn number 4. Who will lead this lap as they come down the front straightaway? Jake Richards still with the advantage as car number 81 of Kessler will pull that car in the infield. His night is done.
Tough break for the 81K of Coco Kessler as we stay green flag racing. It's the 17J Jake Richards with the lead. Car number 7 of Doug Keller right there in the number 2 spot. 17T Shadron Turner with a good run right in the middle of turns number 3 and 4. He's got a good run running in third. Right there in fourth, though. Don't count him out. It's car number 18 of Kurt Drake.
And don't count out that 73 either, as he is very fast. That is Cody Frason as we got it yellow on the racetrack as one is turned around down on the inside of turn number 4. As that car loops it down in turn number 4, bringing the yellow flag out on the racetrack, it looks like Kessler is going to try to take that car behind the wall flat right
off that green flag as we're already racing off turn number 4. It's a good start by the 17J. Jake Richards with the lead. 17T is Shadron Turner with a good run up on that high side. Don't count out the 7 of Doug Keller. And here comes that car number 73. The 73 of Cody Frason coming to the front in a hurry right behind him. You got the 211 of Tim Eaton. And that car number 18 of Kurt Drake.
Frason got that car working. There's a lot of contact as Tim Eaton right into the back of Frason then. 211 Eaton into the back of Frason. Did not seem to hurt the 73 cars. He hangs on that 4th spot as Eaton starting to try to come to the front. But up front, the battle now for second spot between the 17T of Turner, who has it, and the 7 of Keller, who wants it.
As around goes car number 27. The 27A of Andrew Sheets loops it in turns number 3 and 4, bringing out the caution.
Again, Drew Sheets looping it down in turn number 2, bringing the yellow out on the racetrack. On the gas, halfway between turns 3 and 4. Nice start by him, but Shadron Turner not fooled as he runs into that second position as a great start for the 17J of Richards.
It's Richards with the lead going into turns number 3 and 4. Right there in that number 2 spot, the 17T of Shadron Turner with the 7 of Doug Keller. The 73 of Cody Frason running 4th. And right behind him, you have the 211 of Tim Eaton with the 18 of Kurt Drake. And that car number 20 of Michael Bixby right there within the mix as well. And everybody chasing car number 17J of Jake Richards as we got 2 cars tangled together. One up over the bank and onto its top. Hey, we got a car over.
Got one on his top.
Richards with the lead, not fool. The 17T is Shadron Turner right there in that number 2 spot with the 7 of Doug Keller in hot pursuit. Throwing it into sideways to turns number 1 and 2. It's Richards, Turner, Keller. Don't count out that car number 73 of Cody Frazon as he's running 4th. And the 211 of Tim Eaton riding the rim down on the inside, but it's still the 17J. Jake Richards with the lead.
Frazon is the car I'm keeping an eye on as he has got that 73 working on the high line, low line, anywhere he wants to put that race car as he runs a solid 4th. Now the 20 and the 18, Bixby, is on the move as Bixby is underneath the 211 of Eaton as he is making his move to the front, but everybody chasing Richards in that 17J.
17J, Jake Richards with the lead. 17T is Shadron Turner in 2nd. 7 of Doug Keller running 3rd with the man on the move. That car number 73 of Cody Frazon. He's running 4th, trying to run down the top 3. 211 of Tim Eaton right there in 5th, but he's got company. You got the 20 of Bixby, the 18 of Kurt Drake right there within striking distance, and right behind him, 7M Heath Murray with the 47 of Big Cat. Tyson Lamferman rounding out your top 10. Everybody still chasing the 17J, Jake Richards.
How about Jake Richards getting it done here tonight? He is wanting that big paycheck. Can he lead every lap of this feature as Doug Keller slips up the racetrack? Frazon not close enough to take advantage, but up front, Jake Richards showing the way.
Jake Richards out front, stretching it out. He's got about a half a straightaway lead over the 2nd place car, the 17T of Shadron Turner. As the yellow flag comes out, everybody going up on the high side for that car number 3X. T-Dog Tony Manley, a little bit of problems over there in turns number 1 and 2. He gets it straighted, but not before the yellow flag comes out onto the racing surface. But it's still green. Off of 4, it's a good start by the top 3. 17J, Jake Richards. 17T, Shadron Turner. 7 of Doug Keller with the 211 of Tim Eaton and the 73 of Frazon. Frazon up on the high side. He's going to stay right there in the number 2 spot as Turner gets back around the 7 of Keller. It's still 17, 17, and 7 as Keller gets a good run down to the inside of the 17T of Turner. High side prevails, though, with momentum. 17T of Shadron Turner right there in the number 2 spot.
Turner hanging on to that 2nd spot, but here comes Keller back on the inside. Can Keller clear him as they go through turn number 3 and 4? I don't think so, because here comes Turner back, but Keller does a slide job up in front of Turner. Bumper to bumper down the straightaway.
A slide job to perfection by the 7 of Doug Keller to get into that number 2 spot. He's got a lot of ground to make up, though, because out front by about a half a straightaway lead, it's the 17J, Jake Richards right there in the number 1 spot. Richards at the point, Keller in 2nd, Turner 3rd. With that car number 73 of Cody Frazon rounding out your top 4.
Cody Frazon making a statement here tonight at US 36 Raceway as he runs in that top 4, some of the best in the country. And also in the mix is that car number 211 of Tim Eaton. Looks like he is not going to make it 5 in a row here tonight as the 17J of Jake Richards has pulled out to a good lead. Doug Keller in 2nd and 17T of Turner runs 3rd.
Richards has his eyes on the big prize here tonight, trying to lead every lap. It's the 17J, Jake Richards down the front straightaway, still with about a half a straightaway lead over that car number 7 of Doug Keller. Keller trying to throw everything he can into that car as he's riding in that number 2 spot. 3rd place is the 17T of Shadron Turner. With Frazon rounding out your top 4, everybody still chasing car number 17J, Jake Richards, as he picks up the white flag one more time around. Can he lead every lap? Take us home, Pops.
As they go down the back straightaway, going to be some lap cars, but I think they're going to be out of harm's way, leading every lap of the feature race, fans, picking up every bit of the lap money. Let's give him a big round of applause in victory lane, the 17J of Jake Richards. As they go through turn number 1 and 2, celebrating race fans. 7 of Doug Keller 2nd, 17T of Turner 3rd, 73 of Frazon runs that 4th spot. The 211 of Tim Eaton rounding out your top 5. What great racing action here in the USRA B modified division. And picking
Drivers, this is all for you.
Rainbow to fireworks.
From a rainbow to fireworks, race fans, we've had it all for you here tonight at US 36 Raceway, and we're saving the best for last. USRA modified horsepower out on the racetrack. They come down the front straightaway.
Lancetown on the inside, Johnny Scott on the high side by side racing. Look at the run the 1ST of Johnny Scott got. He's up on that high side making it work. Momentum takes over. He's got the lead going down the back straightaway. The 21T of Lancetown right there in the number 2 spot is the 85 of Old Fluffy. Mark Dawson running right there in the number 3 spot. 67D of Dotson right there in the number 4 spot as the 67X of Brandon Williams going to round out your top 5. 78 Derek Hicks right down down to the inside as the 69 of Zach Sanders trying to find a way around. 78 of Derek Hicks with a great run down. Oh, as we got a caution out there on the racing surface between the 2H of John Hanson and the 97, the Moose is loose, Houston Johnson.
Poor old Houston Johnson thinks he's got a bullseye on him here tonight, as everybody seems to be beating on that 97 car. Tough break.
That go pedal hard right about now. He slings it sideways down the front straightaway. It's a good start by the 1ST of Johnny Scott right there in that number 2 spot car, number R21T of Lance Town dipping down to the inside. Good run by the 85 of Old Fluffy. Mark Dawson right up there on the back bumper of the 21 of Town. So it's still the 1ST of Johnny Scott leading the way.
Town not fooled on that restart. He is going to be running the low line. Johnny Scott on the high side as he cuts that corner to perfection as Derek Hicks way up next to the wall gets it recovered, and Austin Johnson in the middle as that 99 starting to come to the front as Stephen Glenn off the pace. He is going to pull that car out of the way. Flat left front tire on the 26 of Stephen Glenn.
Oh, a little bit of bumping and grinding going down the front straightaway as we stay green flag racing. It's car number 7 of Princess Shane Bailey kind of off pace going down the back straightaway. I think he gets it into gear, so we stay green flag racing. It's the 1ST of Johnny Scott leading the way. 21T Lancetown right there in second. Then you have the 85 of Old Fluffy. Mark Johnson running in that number 3 spot as dead to the water, off pace. Stopped right on the front straightaway. Yellow flag conditions for car number 7 of Shane Princess Bailey. Yellow flag conditions. Car number 7 of Shane Bailey dead to the water right down here on the front straightaway. Wheel hard and mash on the gas. It's go time down the front straightaway. The 1ST, Johnny Scott with a good run going into 1 and 2. He's got the lead up on the high side, though. Car number 85 of Old Fluffy, Mark Dotson, making it work up into the number 2 spot.
As he gets up into that second spot, here comes Town back on the inside. Good racing side by side. It looks like the high line will prevail. Mark Dotson will take over that second spot as we head through turn 1.
1ST, Johnny Scott with the lead. Battle on the track for that number 2 spot between the 85 of Old Fluffy, Mark Dotson, and car number 21T of Lance Town. Town down to the inside. High side momentum has it with the 85 of Dotson. Battle shaping up on the track for that number 4 and 5 spot between the 69, the old Zach Attack, Zach Sanders. Is he going to take over the number 4 spot as we got cars up all over on its top through turns number 1 and 2.
Stop, red. Guys, watch these people.
As we have red flag conditions out on the racing surface. Driver is okay. Driver is okay.
Give him a big round of applause as that driver is okay, race fans.
Time now on the front straightaway. It's a good start by the 1ST of Johnny Scott. Fluffy right there in the number 2 spot. Mark Dotson going up on the high side through turns number 1 and 2. You got the 21T of Lancetown. Here comes Sanders. The 69 of Zach Sanders going to try to split the difference going down the back straightaway, but everybody's still chasing the 1ST Johnny Scott.
A little bit of contact. Rubbins racing between the 281. He is also in mud. Mike Densberger, problems for him. It looks like tie rod damage to car number 81 as he was involved in that skirmish. Tough break for the 81. Yep, broke front end on car number 81. As
rounding out your top 5. As it's a good start by the 1ST, Johnny Scott with the 85 Old Fluffy, Mark Dotson right there in the number 2 spot. Dotson going up on the top shelf around the ring on the top. It's a good run by the 85 of Dotson. He's going to try it one more time through turns number 3 and 4. 1ST, Johnny Scott with the lead. Good run by the 85 of Dotson. Number 3 spot is that 21T of Lance Town as Town down to the inside, but Dotson with a good run going down the back straightaway. Yellow flag coming out onto the racing surface. 67X of Brandon Williams going the wrong way in a one-way, bringing out the caution.
Okay, so 186.
Johnson rounding out your top 5. Everybody chasing the 1ST, Johnny Scott, as he slings it sideways into turns number 1 and 2. He's changing his line, goes up to the top shelf right in front of the 85D.
Yellow, guys, yellow. Look what he's doing.
who's doing?
He's
As 67X of Brandon Williams able to get that car off the track. We stay lean, mean, and green. It's the 1ST Johnny Scott, the 21T Lance Town, but here comes the 85 of Old Fluffy. Mark Dotson with a good run going into turns number 3 and 4. Dotson down to the inside, slide job in front of the 21T of Town. Town not giving up an inch, though, as we're side by side going into turns number 1 and 2. It's the 1ST of Scott, 21T of Town, and the 85 of Dotson.
The best in the business doing battle here on the high banks of US 36 Raceway. Everybody switching positions. They trying high, they trying low as they are racing, trying to run down Scott in that car, number 1ST.
1ST Johnny Scott right in the middle of the track with a good run going down the back straightaway. 21T Lance Town hanging steady right there in the number 2 spot, but he's got company. Here comes Fluffy. The 85D, Mark Dotson down to the inside. Down the front straightaway as 21C, Chad Clancy. He's right there in the number 4 spot. Dotson gets a good run down to the inside. Going to take over that number 2 spot, but Town storming back down to the inside. He's going to try a slide job. Now crossover by the 85 of Dotson. Side by side racing down the front straightaway. It's the 85 of Dotson right there in the number 2 spot. He's going to give a slide job. Now crossover by the 21T of Town.
If this ain't racing, I don't know what else we can give you, race fans. How about Town and Dotson going at it for that second, third spot? Dotson now got that high line working, but here comes Town back on the inside, but nobody catching that 1ST.
Goes car number 98 of Austin Johnson. That's going to collect the 78 of Derek Hicks as the yellow flag comes back out onto the racing surface.
Hicks nowhere to go as car number 98 loops that car, 99 rather, as Hicks able to pull away now, race fans. Big blue oval on the front of that car number 78.
Fooled. It's a good start by the top 2. 1ST Johnny Scott, 85 of Dotson, and the 21T of Town rounding out your top 3. Dotson making a move for the lead out of turn number 2. Johnny Scott with a good run going down the back straightaway, side by side action into turns number 3 and 4. Put a piece of paper between the two of them. It's too close for me at the line. It's the 85 Dotson down to the inside. He's making it work. 1ST Johnny Scott getting a run on the high side down the back straightaway. We're still side by side racing going into turns number 3 and 4. Scott high, Dotson low. At the line, give it to the 1ST of Johnny Scott.
Scott going to close the door now as we go through turn number 1. Coming off 2, Dotson slips up the racetrack. That allows Scott to get away by about 3 or 4 car lengths. Don't know if the tires may be going away on the 85D as we are running out of laps, race fans. 1ST of Scott up front. I think he may have led that one lap in question.
It's the 1ST Johnny Scott with the lead. The 85 of Mark Dawson right there in that number 2 spot. Up to third, the 69 Zach Sanders. Then you have the 21T of Town with the 21C of Clancy rounding out your top 5. Everybody chasing the 1ST Johnny Scott as he's got the lead on the white flag lap. One more time around. He's going to dip up to the high side. 85 of Dawson going to try to close the difference down the back straightaway. Take us home, Pops.
As we come through turn number 3, going to be coming off turn number 4. He is going to pick up the feature win and the $1,000 here tonight. Driving car number 1ST, Johnny Scott. Second place, car number 85D of Mark Dawson. Third spot, car number 69 of Zach Sanders. Fourth place, car number 21T of Last Town. Rounding out your top 5, driving the car number 21C, Chad Clancy.